on the flight now, heading to Radion International, and the centre is where we're going to really explore the work that Radion does, and also I think get a sense of the trials and tribulations of the actual villagers themselves, the tough things that they go through, and what their situations are like, and why Radion's work is so important.
Okay, so Eugene, we just left the
Pisanolo Airport, right.
Okay, and we're heading towards...
We are heading towards Kek Noi, which is a 1.5 hours drive up mountains.
How long have you been based there?
This is our 12th year.
12 years, wow.
Yeah. 12 years back, I did a trip up to Thailand.
Right.
And in that journey, I've come across the Hmong people. We realized that the situation was very complex. There were high rates of domestic violence. It was close to 40%. Children were on the streets, and many of them were using drugs without them actually knowing the harms of dealing with drugs. So there are three things that we run, essentially. The first is the Street Kids program. That's the rescue and recovery center for kids that have been either physically abused, sexually abused, or kids that come from high-risk backgrounds. The second program we run is the community education program. That program essentially creates livelihoods, aims to educate the community about the problems with drugs, as well as how can they help build the community to become a safer place. The last project that we have is what we call Village Outreach. This program cares for the families that have been abandoned by society, the ones that are usually at the terminal stage of their lives. So we cover from children to adults to elderly.
Besides visiting the facilities here and all that, part of the trip also is to visit some of the homes here. And we're going to visit this lady here, and she has a story to tell us. Hopefully she will open up her heart and tell us a bit more about what she's going through. So let's go and have a look.
Cú luôn này để cú ta lo cho mình rồi cú xa xong để cú yếu chỉ để cú lo nhớ lo lên nó đây mà lo lớn thì do lo lên nó cho thì nó tí lo lên nó nha chú cho cú giờ mình nhớ lúc ta yêu hạt tàu rồi chỉ báo là yêu lớn thì rồi chỉ báo cái mình nhớ là cái trẻ là chỉ báo yêu đây yêu rõ yêu sao cú chỉ sáng đây nhớ đây là chỗ bỏ lắm đây lo là chỉ nó này trốn tu cho trong đây qua lúc cái nó bây giờ trong đây trốn tu để lắm chỉ kia rồi thấy lo để là chỉ nó lúc này đây này qua cuối giờ cho đi đây không trả cô.
So after talking to Auntie Kang, so many emotions, because on one hand, I feel so much respect for her, for her strength. At 17, you're kidnapped and then brought to somebody's house, stranger totally, and then said, okay, you're going to be my bride, just like that. And even if you don't want to, you can't do anything because you don't have an opinion. How does that work? I don't understand. I was stunned with the living conditions. It's so basic. To know that when it rains, it becomes mud. And I'm so glad, because of Radion, they can be around to help women like her. You know, otherwise, right? Right now, this auntie is venting to Eugene. She hasn't seen him for a while, and Eugene was telling us that she is living by herself. And just earlier on, she was just telling Eugene that she hasn't eaten the whole day.
We've just visited with Auntie C, and I find myself so worried for her, you know. She's already losing her memory, her sense of where she is. And she's so lonely. It's the main thing, she's so lonely. And you see her sitting there by herself. And all she asks is, when you coming back? When you coming back? And she only gets 1 meal a day if she's lucky. She's not sure when her next meal is coming, and her eyes she can't even see. So how's she going to take care of herself and cook for herself and just daily necessities? So it gets me very worried, but I'm just glad the Radion is here.
So it's end of day one. Just recap it. We met about 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
To international flight, to a domestic flight, took a van ride.
Hour and a half.
Hour and a
van.
half. We got here and we got together with the kids for the first time.
Oh,
and,
very, very sweet.
they have so much potential, so much life to give, so much
Yeah.
life to live for.
Yeah.
And it's
And
just the environment and circumstances that just dampen them down. So we had a nice sing-along session. We learned some Hmong songs. Tomorrow we have another full day again. We are looking forward to it. So we're gonna sleep well tonight, I'm sure. And we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah.
Good night.